A couple times this year, there's been guys coming back from injuries that have, sort of given the team a jump. Most recently, maybe last night with Ryan White. But what has Mason brought when he came back into the lineup recently?
Yeah, I think this is Mason's second year, obviously, but I mean he plays like he's more of a veteran out there. He has confidence with the puck. He makes plays. He makes everybody around him better. So I think having a guy like that that's going to be able to create plays and create offense for us is huge coming back in the lineup.
First period seemed pretty even from where I was sitting, and then the second period felt like the lion's share of the chances fell your team's way, and yet they leave that period with a 1-0 lead. How did that game break down in terms of you guys preparing for the third?
Yeah, it was an interesting game, kind of like a typical Sunday game. It was back and forth, not a lot of jam there. I think it kind of picked up pace there in the third period. I think both teams kind of realized that the game's kind of up for grabs, and I think it was a huge goal on the power play there to give us the tie and then win it in overtime. So I think the biggest thing is we got to stay patient, but at the same time have a little bit of urgency because these are must-wins for us. So I think we did a good job of managing that. I think obviously the first couple periods we could have played better, but you learn from those.
These are tough games coming off the night, as you said. I think, if memory serves, yourself one time was one of the sticks that seemed to be littering the ice throughout the game tonight. In those situations when there's pucks bouncing around and they ended up bouncing in your favor at the end, but how do you sort of manage the mood when there's pucks bouncing all over the place and chances coming off them?
Yeah, like against that team, they're a run and gun type team, so they're going to get their chances. You got to manage them, make sure they're from the outside, they're not in the slot. But if the bounces are going your way, they're going away. If they're not, they're not. I mean, usually if you play the right way, over time you're going to get those bounces. So I think it's important, like I said earlier, just to stay patient and know your time will come. And luckily, on the power play there, we were able to get a goal, but we had our chances too.
Yourself being one of the defensemen, just wondering about a point of view on Mikhail Burden. Aggressive, to say the least, but putting up numbers that are pretty impressive in the end of all things.
Well, yeah, Birdie's a gamer. He comes to play. He's definitely maybe not your more conventional style goalie, but he gets the job done, and he saves a lot. He made a lot of big saves for us tonight. I think that's kind of go a little bit unnoticed sometimes. They could have put up 3 or 4 goals on us, but he kind of held us in there. So I think that's probably the biggest thing is he comes up with the save when he needs to and gives us a chance to win.
Maybe just a quick little add-on to that. Having 2 goaltenders that are rolling right now, is that maybe one of the biggest keys to you guys putting up wins, trying to get into the playoff spot?
Yeah, with our style of play, we're not getting a ton of offense this year, so we're going to rely heavily on our goaltenders, and they've been unbelievable all year, stealing games and keeping us in games that maybe we shouldn't be in. So you got to tip your hat to them every time you can, because they're probably the main reason that we're able to kind of string some of these wins together, and we are, especially at home.
Just one more for you. I want to ask about Michael Spacek. Throughout the season, we've been hearing that he's been playing really well. The coach has been happy with his play. Seemed almost a little bit unlucky throughout the season, not getting goals necessarily. How big can something like a reward like tonight be for him?
Oh yeah, definitely. Spacek is a young kid. He's got a lot of hockey ahead of him. He's going to have a good career. And I think it's hard when you're young and you're a goal scorer, and especially with the year you had last year with our team and stuff. When you go a couple nights without points, it can be discouraging for him. But I think it's important for him to stick with the process and know he will get rewarded like he did tonight, and hopefully that'll kind of jumpstart him to kind of keep playing, because when he's playing with confidence, and there's not a better guy on the team. So.